Hi everyone, so going off the back of the double tucked corner fold card, this is a version number 2 of the double tucked, version number 3 of the whole thing, you know, the single, then the double, then this. So I'm calling this a jumper fold card because to me it looks like a jumper or like a jacket. Actually, maybe I should call it a jacket fold card. I might call it a jacket fold card. But yeah, this is the card basically. So it's the double tucked, but I've just done it slightly differently. I've folded it slightly differently. Stuck in a few extra score lines in. You have to excuse the sunshine, but I do like a bit of sunshine. I do want to block it out. But yeah, that's what it looks like open up flat. And this is what it looks like when it's folded down. So that goes there, and it fits in an envelope for a 6x6 card. Now, I've used very thick layers, as you can see, very thick. And so this is very, very thick. I've gone and used card. My base card is too thick. And then I've used Miri that's thick, and I've used patterned card, not patterned paper. So I would definitely advise not going too thick. You're probably best off with a base card of about 200, and then a matte card, again, maybe about 200, and, well, a maximum 200, and a pattern of, like, again, probably 140, 160 would be good. Don't go too much, otherwise it ends up really wodgy like this. There's space to write on the back, so there's a space to write on the back. Not a lot of space to write on the back, but you have got a little bit of space. So yeah, so that's the card. So and obviously you don't have to make it into like a little jacket or jumper. You can do it in something else if you want to. It looks a bit like a house. Could be a house card. You could have it like a house. That's sort of like the roof. But there's all sorts you could do with it. So yeah. So let's get into it. Okay, so for this project, you're going to need a base card. You're going to need 2 pieces that are 6 inches by 6.5 inches, and 1 piece that is 2 by 6. So the piece that's 2 by 6, we can put that to one side. We don't need to do any scoring on that. And then we just need to take out the scoreboard and use it for the 2 pieces that are 6 by 6.5. So you want to take one of your pieces and you want to put it so you've got the 6.5 inch edge. You're going to score it at 1/2 inch. Okay, now we'll do both of them at 1/2 inch to start with. So both of them, we'll do both of the score lines like one and then the other, because it's just easier. Then what you're going to need to do is, if you fold that edge over, so fold your tab that you've just done, and then with that tab folded over, you then want to score from that top bit where the tab is down to the bottom opposite corner. So obviously this is going to be the left hand side, so I'm going to score from the top right to the bottom left because the tab is on the right. So I'm just going to put this in here like this. Ooh. Obviously you can do this on a cork board if you find it easier, but I'm just going to do it with this since I've got it here. And then we're literally going to press down and score down this 4-inch mark all the way down, well, whatever, it's basically in half diagonally is what you want to do. So we're going to do the same on this piece. So we're going to fold over our tab, give it a good burnish. Now this one I'm going to turn around, so I've got it this way around, so the tab's on the left, because you've got one on one side, one on the other. So we're going to go from the top left hand corner to the bottom right. So again, put this in, and then just move it so it's in position, and then we're going to score it in half diagonally all the way like that. Okay, so once you've done that, I'm going to carry on with this piece since I've got it here. In this bottom here, this bottom corner, we want a 4 by 4 inch square like we had before. So I'm going to turn it round so my tab's at the bottom, and then I'm going to measure up from the bottom 4 inches, and I'm going to score from the bottom up 4 inches across to that line. I'm hoping you can see this. I know I'm using black card, but I'm hoping you can see this. You'll see it in a minute when I fold it. You'll see. So I'm going so from the bottom of the card up the edge 4 inches, and then I'm scoring down until I hit the diagonal line going the other way. Okay. I'm then going to turn it, and I need to score. I'm just going to get it in so that it's, in fact I might turn it round. Let me turn it round. I'm going to turn it round, so then I'm still working 4 inches in. So again, you're going to work from so this is the bottom. This is the bottom of my card, although it's now at the top. This is the bit that's going to be on the outside. So I want to score from that bottom corner up 4 inches. So let me just do it, and then you'll see what I mean. Okay, so that's all my score lines done. So what we're going to do, it's exactly the same as what we did for this double tucked corner fold card. You see with this one here? So this bit here, this from there, this whole section, so if you imagine like here, that's like your 6 by 6. Obviously you've got an extra ½ inch for the tab, but apart from that it's the same thing. So you're scoring this 4 by 4 square in the bottom outside corner of your card. Okay, so that's what I'm doing here. So we're taking this piece here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fold this, because then you'll actually be able to see where I've scored, because it's quite difficult on the dark card, I think, to see it. So I'm just going to go ahead and fold down the halfway diagonal line. I'm just going to make sure when I actually fold it that it is properly in half diagonally. And then, as before, part of this is going to be one way and part of it is going to be the other way. So with this, what we want to do is we want to kind of make this bit is going to be a valley, this bit's going to be a mountain. So I'm just going to fold it both ways. There we go. And then these two are going to be mountain folds. So I'm just going to give that a crease, give that a crease, just pop that bit in the middle there, and then just fold it down like that. Ooh, just give it a bit of a burnish, make sure it's all nice and done. So that is what it's going to look like. So I'm just going to put this tab back again. Let me just fold this tab so it's the way. So that, hopefully you can see that, is what it's going to be like. Okay, so if I open it up slightly, can you see where I've scored? So this piece is going to go on my right hand side. Okay, so you've got the tab, you've got the diagonal line that goes from the top left hand corner all the way down to the bottom right hand corner. And then I turned it like this. I measured along from, this is the bottom, measured from the bottom along this right hand edge up 4 inches, and then scored down 4 inches until I meet this diagonal line, and then the same here. So I actually ended up turning it this way around just so I could do it, but you basically want to measure from that corner again. So this is the bottom corner, this is the bottom here. So from the bottom corner you want to measure along the bottom 4 inches and score up to the diagonal line. So up the right hand side 4 inches and in to reach the diagonal line, from the bottom corner along the bottom and then up 4 inches. Yeah, so it's the same. So we're going to repeat the same thing on this other one, but obviously the tab's on the right hand side this time. So now I need to make sure my square is in the bottom left hand corner. Okay, so what I'm going to do, pop it in, and then from this bottom corner here I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm then going to score from there down till I reach the diagonal line, and I'm going to turn it round, and again, so I'm going from this corner here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'm going to score down till you reach the diagonal fold going the other way. So that is what you get, so you can sort of see it there in the light. Okay, so then we're going to do the same again. So we want this to be a valley, that to be a mountain. So I'm just going to fold it in half diagonally as a mountain first, and then I'll fold it back on itself, because obviously it's half and half. So we'll do that and then just give it a fold back. This is actually quite a thick card. I would recommend using something a bit less than this. This is about a 3, I don't know, maybe a 350. I'm not quite sure what this was, but it's quite you know, thick. Then we want to make that into a mountain, make that into a mountain, put the two together, give it a really good burnish like that. And then I'm just going to fold that back again like that. And so that is that's your other piece done. So you should end up with those two pieces like that. Okay, so they're literally mirror images of each other. So hopefully you got that. It's a bit difficult to try and explain it, but hopefully you got it. If you've done the other one, it's literally the same, except for instead of using a 6 by 6, you're using 6.5 because you've got an extra ½ inch for the tab. In fact, did I use that on this? No, I think I did that on this, didn't I? I did a ½ inch for the tab. Yeah, I did. I think I did. So now what we need to do is take our 2 by 6, and this is going to go on here. That's right, that's what we did before. So before we had a whole panel, didn't we? So that was like a whole, that was a whole section with the corners cut off. So that's the difference with this one. Okay, so you've got a 6.5 by 6.5, and we're actually doing a fold line, because this is going to stick on there like that, and this is going to stick behind there like that, and then we're going to cover that up on the other side so you won't see it. So I'm going to go ahead now and stick this down. You're best to use red tape or a strong wet glue. I'm going to go with red tape, I think. So I'm going to go ahead now and stick this down. Right, so I've gone ahead and put red tape on my tabs. So now I'm just going to take the backing off the red tape, and then I'm going to take my strip, my 2x6, and that is going to go on to that tab, just making sure that where your bump is for your score line, you want it to be on the tab side of the score line, because that's going to be folding down. If you go over the score line, you won't be able to fold along that score line. So just going to do that like that, and so then that should fold down like that, hopefully. And then we're going to do the same on this side. So we're going to take off the backing. This is going to be a bit more tricky because I've got 2 pieces of tape on this, but anyway, we're going to do our best. Let me just take this. Oh no, she might be right. And then again, we're going to lay this on, make sure it all lines up, and then stick it down. Okay, so once you've stuck it down, you should end up with basically with that. Okay, now what it's going to do is it's actually going to fold. If you fold that down and then fold that down, that's how it folds flat, which looks a bit weird. But when it's stood up, it should be like that. And to me, that looks like a jacket. When it's actually stood up in front of me like this, it looks like a jacket. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to make this look a bit like a jacket. Okay. Now I've used, as I said, quite thick card here. So it's not standing up quite as much like a jacket as my prototype. So if I just quickly bring in my prototype and you'll see. So this is my prototype. And as you can see, that really does look like a coat to me. That looks like there's the arms. There's the side pockets. That's like the centre bit. So that's what I've kind of. This is a lot thinner. This card that I've used here. So this is actually quite thick, but it still does look like. It still looks a bit like a coat. So I'm going to decorate it up like a coat anyway. So the way we do the bats and layers are literally the same as what we did for the original tucked corner fold card. And also for this double version as well. So it's literally these layers exactly the same. It's just that you need, the back is different obviously, but this bit where the corner's cut off, it's the same measurements. So I'll go through it anyway, just in case you haven't seen the double. So for the way I've done this is I'm going to decorate this bit here, this bit, and the same on this side, okay? So these are the pieces. So for the outside of my jacket, oh, you can't see, I'm going to put bit here, bit here, bit here, there, and there. And then these 3 will be a different pattern. So I've gone for gold matte and then this black and gold patterned card that I bought at a show ages ago. Well, last year, end of last year it would have been. So what I'm going to do with the mats, I'm using a gold. On your mats, you need, in total, you're going to need 2 pieces for these outside bits. Obviously, you've got 2 bits there as well. So in total, you need 4 pieces. Okay, we'll just go with 4 pieces. You need 4 pieces of mats. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And these are all measure 1 3/4 by 5.5. Okay, and so on those, you're going to measure up, as I've done here. You're going to measure up from the bottom. You need to make sure you do them opposite. Okay, so do 2 that are the same and 2 that are different. Okay, so I'm going to do 2 like this and 2 like this. Let me bring my other ones in so you know what I mean. There with. So that's the same as that one. So can you see I've got 2 that go that way and 2 that go that way. Okay, so we measure up. So for this one, we measure up here to 3 3/4, and we make a mark. Same there. And then you draw a line from there to the top right hand corner. So those 2, that's those 2. This one here, same again, but just up the right hand side. So you're marking up the right hand side and make a mark at 3 3/4, and then draw a line up to the corner, up to the corner. So that's those 2 mats done. Then onto those, the pattern pieces, you're going to need 4 in total. So I've got 2 that are like that and 2 that are like that, because these 2 are the patterns that are going to go on the inside. So make sure that you put your 2 together. So you can see I've got 2 here and I've got 2 here, because you need 1 of each type. In fact, let me just do it this way around. So if we see, we've got 2 little houses there and 2 little houses there. If you can see that, I'm hoping you can. Yep, you can see, cool. So on the back, I've already drawn mine on, as you can see. And the other thing as well is I've already put tape on. I would advise you putting tape on first, just because then when you've cut it, you can literally go and stick it straight down. You haven't got to worry about trying to get into little corners. So with these ones, with the pattern, you want to come, so for the ones that are on the left, you want to come up 3 5/8, make a mark, and then up the right 3 5/8, make a mark, and then draw your line to the corners. Same here, so bottom left, up 3 5/8, draw a line to the top. From this top corner down, it's 3 5/8 up that side. Okay, so hopefully that's pretty much straightforward. It's literally the same as what we did for the double. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead now, cut all these and then stick them down. Your triangles you don't need, but if you want to make a card using your triangles afterwards, you can, and you should find that they fit quite nicely onto there. The other thing to do is once you have cut your pattern, so let me just cut this pattern piece. Oh. Once you've cut your pattern piece, just make sure that when you lay it onto your mat piece, it matches, because as you can see there, the angle's not quite right. Okay, so if the angle's not quite right, make sure you cut it so it is right and you're happy with it before you stick it down. Because on one of my cards I didn't do that and I ended up with a bit of a wonky edge. So that one I think I'm happy with. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's still not quite right, but anyway, I'm going to go ahead now and cut all these down and just get them all ready and then stick them together. Okay, so I'll see you in a moment. Okay, so there we have our 4 pieces. So we're now going to go ahead and stick them onto our card. So this one is going to go on here like that. This one's going to go on here like that. And then those two are going to go in the middle. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and stick those down. Okay, so you should end up with a card that looks like that. So we're going to do this bit in the middle here. So this bit in the middle here, and also you need a piece for the back as well. So you need 2 pieces of mat card that are 1 3/4 by 5 3/4. Then you need 1 pattern piece that's 1 1/2 by 5 1/2, and 1 white piece that's 1 1/2 by 5 1/2. So that's going to go in there like that. And this one is going to go on the back like that. Now I appreciate that's not very much space to write. So if you wanted to, you could double that and make it like a little card that opens up. Or you could do it as a top folder or whatever you want to do. But I just thought, for me, I don't write a lot, so that's fine. But if you wanted to do it slightly differently, you can. Or even put a bigger panel on the back. You know, it's really up to you. But I'm going to go ahead and stick these down. Okay, so that's what you should end up with so far. You then need to get 2 mat squares that are 3 1/2 by 3 1/2 and 2 pattern squares that are 3 by 3. And what you want to do on the back is you want to draw diagonal lines. So you're going to cut them in half diagonally. Now obviously with your mat it doesn't really matter because you can, you know, it's fine just to do them anyway. You don't have to do one going one way and one going the other. You can do them the same because you know, I could turn this around, you see what I mean, and make it the same. Again, if I were you, I would put tape on first because it helps. With your pattern, however, you do need to make sure if you've got a right way up, which I wanted my little hoopy bits to be the right way up. So if you've got a right way up pattern, you do need to make sure that one goes one way and one goes the other way. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead now, cut these in half and then stick these triangles onto these mats, these triangles onto these mats. Okay, so we've got the mats and layers stuck down. So what I need to do now is just need to have a look at this. Now I've got my little hoopy things going upwards here. So on this rectangle here, triangle even, I need the hoopy bits to be going up. So this one fits perfectly. So that will go there and that will go there. And then on this one, that one will go there and that one will go there. So I'm going to go ahead and stick those down. Okay, so there we have those. So just fold this down. Now obviously this is going to be a very chunky one, so I would definitely advise going for a slightly less chunky card. But when you open it up, that's how it stands up. So as you can see, it does look like a jacket. To me it looks like a jacket. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put some little buttons along here, and I think that would look quite cool. And then I think I'll probably put happy birthday in here maybe, or on the side, I'm not sure. Not sure I'm going to put it yet, but yeah, it looks quite cool. So obviously you could do all sorts with this. You could just, you know, not go for the jacket look. You could go for whatever you want. And then on the back, obviously you've got space to write on the back there. So yeah, so that's that's basically the card. Now it folds down, as long as you don't, make it too thick. This one's very thick, as you can see. This actually measures 6 inches wide and it's 6 inches tall, so it will fit in an envelope for a 6x6 card. Excuse the sunshine coming in, but I'm going to leave it because I'm almost finished and I like seeing the sun. So that is the kind of jacket fold card. So I'm going to go ahead, add some buttons on, and then we're pretty much done. Okay, so there's the finished card. So it kind of stands up like that, and so as you can see, I think it really does it like a jacket. So I put the little gold buttons on. Again, apologies for the sunshine, but I do like the sunshine. And just put a little celebrate your special day on there like that. And that's it really. So yeah, it stands up nicely on your desk. Yeah, it's just a bit different. And as I said, you don't have to decorate it like a jacket. You can decorate it however you want to decorate it. Folds flat like that. Just don't use too thick a layers. So I've used very thick layers here. My card is already thick. And then I've used Miri, which is thick. And I've used pattern paper, which is not paper, it's actually card. So I've really gone for it with the layers. So yeah, I would say, don't go as thick as me. But yeah, so hopefully you liked it. Please like and subscribe. Hit the notification button so you never miss a video. If you want to join my members, please do click on the join button below the video. If you want to just donate, you can just click on my main channel page and go to about, and you click on where it says PayPal and buy me a coffee, and you can donate whatever you want to there. It really helps the channel. If you subscribe, that doesn't cost you a thing. It's completely free for you, but it really helps me out. So yeah, so I hope you like the card. I have one more, possibly 2 more versions of this. So I'm rinsing it out. I am rinsing it out. But yeah, so I hope you enjoyed it, and we will see you next time. Bye.